Hey there, friends. It's great to be back. I know we've been off the radar for a while. I became a parent, I landed a new job, moved into a new house, played some World of Warcraft. So it's been a busy time. But I've missed making videos and diving into rabbit holes. I also wanted to try out using a cam, so let me know if that's a good idea or not. Anyways, let's start this little comeback off with a top 10 on ancient texts that challenge modern history. And as always, I hope you haven't heard of these. Oh, and by the way, I'm Marcus. Welcome to Aera. Let's get going. Let's motherfucking go. The Inum. This ancient Babylonian creation epic was uncovered in the ruins of Nineveh, within the library of Ashbarnipal, the last great king of the Assyrian Empire. It is actually composed of 7 stone tablets. Scholars believe it was written at least in the 7th century BCE, though its roots likely stretch back even further into the unrecorded history of Mesopotamian civilization, around 6,000 years ago. This tale vividly portrays Tiamat being split by Marduk, leading to the creation of the earth and the heavens. What's fascinating is how this mirrors modern astronomical theories. The story resembles the giant impact hypothesis, which suggests that a Mars-sized celestial body, often referred to as Theia or Thea, collided with the early Earth. This monumental impact is believed to have resulted in the formation of our moon from the debris. The Enuma describes the remnants of Tiamat forming Earth and other cosmic bodies, suggesting that ancient people might have had some understanding of these massive celestial events, even if it was wrapped in myth. The Sumerians are known to have had great knowledge of our planets, constellations, lunar and solar eclipses, and more. If the tale really is about our solar system's formation, it really makes you wonder how they could have had that sort of information back then. Giordano Bruno, a visionary ahead of his time, whose writings challenged not only the scientific norms of his era, but also the very fabric of how we perceive the universe. Bruno, an Italian philosopher of the 16th century, dared to think beyond the accepted geocentric model of the cosmos. He was fascinated by the infinite nature of the universe and the possibility of other worlds. In his works, he proposed that the stars we see at night are actually suns, each potentially surrounded by their own planets. This was a radical idea during a time when the Earth was considered the center of a finite universe. What sets Bruno's writings apart is their profound implication. If there are countless stars, each with their own planetary systems, then the universe is vastly more extensive than previously thought. This idea not only challenges the then dominant Earth-centric view, but also opens up the possibility of other life forms and worlds. Bruno's vision of an infinite universe was not just scientific conjecture, it was also a spiritual and philosophical revelation. He saw the universe as a boundless, living entity, a concept that harmonized the cosmos in a way that was both beautiful and complex. The reason I put this man on the list is quite frankly because I had never heard of him. Yet his theories of the universe and our solar system were so ahead of his time. He was saying things 400 years ago that our astronomers and scientists believe today. And not surprisingly, this led to his condemnation by the Roman Church. He was ultimately executed for heresy. His death, however, could not suppress his ideas, which lived on and influenced future generations of astronomers and thinkers. Unearthed in the village of Tartaria in Romania, the Taria Tablets were discovered in 1961 by archaeologist Nicolae Vlasa. These small clay tablets, inscribed with mysterious symbols, have become a source of great intrigue and debate in the archaeological world. Radiocarbon dating suggests an origin of around 5300 BC, which predates the Sumerian script, which is traditionally thought to be the earliest form of writing. The symbols on the Taria Tablets show resemblances to the Vinca script, linked to a Neolithic culture in the region, but also bear similarities to ancient scripts from Sumeria and the Indus Valley, like the symbols found on the stone tablets of the Inum or the 7 tablets of creation, which I mentioned earlier on our number 10 spot. This remarkable resemblance has led to speculation that the development of writing could have much older roots and may have occurred independently in various parts of the world. However, the true nature of these symbols, whether they represent a form of proto-writing used for ritualistic purposes or a true system of written communication, remains a subject of intense scholarly debate. If the latter is true, the Taria Tablets will not only push back the timeline for the origins of writing, but also suggest a broader, more diverse cradle of civilization than currently acknowledged. Now, aliens and UFOs has become more and more popular these past few years, and all that has to do to the fact that American and Mexican Congress has been spilling some information on it. Now, whether or not this is true or just a ploy to keep us distracted from real truths or real news, well, that is the question. For number 7, I'll explore ancient biblical texts that, through a conspiratorial lens, might suggest extraterrestrial encounters. These accounts, while deeply rooted in religious and spiritual contexts, have been interpreted by some as evidence of alien contact in ancient times. I'll give you 3 examples from the Bible, and I hope you can comment if you think these are far-fetched or not. I, for one, just think that if you believe that aliens have visited us recently, or are visiting us right now, then why wouldn't they have been able to do so in the past? We tend to believe that our generation, or the time that we're in, is the most special one. And I don't really believe that. I think that ancient times, and I'm talking real ancient times, there were things that we wouldn't believe at all. Anyways, guys, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Let's continue with the book of Ezekiel. In the book of Ezekiel, the prophet describes a detailed vision of a flying chariot, containing wheels within wheels and powered by angels. Ezekiel's detailed description of the object and its movements have led some to theorize that he might have witnessed a spacecraft, with the angels being interpreted as possible alien beings. The second example I'll give you is Jacob's ladder. The story of Jacob's ladder in the book of Genesis describes Jacob dreaming of a ladder reaching to heaven with angels ascending and descending on it. This vision has been interpreted by some as a metaphorical representation of a spacecraft or an interdimensional portal, suggesting a connection between Earth and the heavens, potentially hinting at alien interaction. The fiery chariot of Elijah. Another intriguing biblical account is the ascent of the prophet Elijah into heaven. Described in the book of Kings, Elijah is taken up to heaven in a chariot of fire, with horses of fire, a scene that has been interpreted by some as a possible alien abduction or an encounter with an advanced technological vehicle. There's so much more to these examples that I gave you, but that's better suited for an episode on its own. So feel free to comment if you'd like that. But what I can tell you though, and I'll read right off from Wikipedia here, is that after ufologists such as Erich von Daniken had pointed to the possibility of interpreting Ezekiel's Merkaba vision as a report of an extraterrestrial spacecraft, Bloomrich decided to disprove the hypothesis. However, A thorough examination convinced him that Ezekiel had, in fact, seen a spaceship. He then made detailed drawings of the alien craft. He decided the technology of the builders must have been somewhat higher than mankind's at the present, and added he had seldom felt as delighted, satisfied, and fascinated by being proven wrong. So basically, the guy that wanted to disprove this ufologist hypothesis that Ezekiel was describing a spaceship, he was called Bloomrich, and he was actually a NASA engineer. And furthermore, he actually built a replica following the instructions of Ezekiel. And turns out it really looks like the typical flying saucer, really, which is just so intriguing, I believe. So it was a long time ago that I heard the examples from the Bible, such as the spaceship of Ezekiel and so on. But I thought to myself, I've never heard any examples from the Quran or Islam. So I searched for it, and here's 2 examples from Islam of potential alien interactions. The Companions of the Cave from Surah 18 Al-Kahf. Sorry if I pronounced that shitty, but this story describes a group of young men who retreat to a cave and fall asleep for a very, very long time, 300 to 309 lunar years. When they wake up, they discover that the world has changed significantly. And some have interpreted this story as a kind of time dilation or stasis, concepts familiar in modern science fiction, but traditionally it's seen as a miracle and a sign of God's protection. The ascension of Prophet Muhammad, Isra and Miraj, well, not detailed in the Quran itself, but in the Hadith, which is sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad. The story of Isra and Miraj recounts the night journey where Muhammad is taken from Mecca to Jerusalem and then to the heavens. This journey, especially the heavenly ascent, has been interpreted by some as an extraterrestrial experience. However, in Islamic tradition, it is considered a miraculous event and a profound spiritual experience. The Aera Linda book, a manuscript shrouded in mystery and debate, emerges from the depths of ancient Frisia, the present-day Netherlands. Its pages unfold a narrative that challenges conventional historical timelines, offering an alternative and unique perspective on the history of Europe. In the manuscript, there are mentions of structures so grand and complex they defy the conventional understanding of the era. For instance, one passage describes a tower that touches the sky, built with stones that sing when the sun rises. This imagery, while poetic, could be interpreted as a metaphor for a technologically advanced society. The text makes intriguing references to celestial patterns. One section reads, "The stars move in a dance, dictated by laws we have begun to understand." This suggests a deep observation of the heavens, possibly indicating an advanced grasp of astronomy, unusual for the time. The creation story in the Aera Linda book is particularly striking for its lack of divine figures. It describes the world's birth as an event of natural forces. From the chaos of water and wind, the land was born, and life sprang forth. This perspective reflects a more naturalistic view of the universe's origins, contrasting sharply with other creation myths. Reportedly discovered by Alberto Tully, a Vatican museum director, this papyrus is said to be a part of the annals of Thutmose III, a pharaoh of ancient Egypt. But it's not battles or conquests that make this papyrus stand out. It is something entirely out of this world. The text describes a fascinating event in the year 22 of the 3rd month of winter, 6th hour of the day. The scribes of the House of Life found it was a circle of fire that was coming in the sky. Picture this, fire discs descending from the sky, bewildering the onlookers. What makes this account so compelling is the detail: it had no head, the breath of its mouth emitted a foul odor. Its body was 1 rod long and 1 rod wide. It had no voice. It's a description that modern UFO enthusiasts find strikingly familiar. Skeptics question the authenticity of the Tully Papyrus, suggesting it might be a modern creation. Yet the intrigue persists. If this document is genuine, it could imply that the ancient Egyptians encountered phenomena similar to modern UFO sightings. Was this an actual record of an extraterrestrial visitation, or an interpretation of an astronomical or natural phenomenon through the lens of ancient Egyptian cosmology? The debate continues. It was actually not Anthony Tully who told the world about this Tully Papyrus. Someone actually found it amongst his papers in his office. So that is why it is quite debated in the archaeological world. Coming in at number 3 on our list is the Dead Sea Scrolls. And while not directly challenging modern history, it sure challenges the traditional view of the Bible. Discovered between 1946 and 1956 in the Qumran caves near the Dead Sea, these scrolls date back to the last 3 centuries BCE and the 1st century CE. What makes them extraordinary is their content, a treasure trove of biblical and non-biblical manuscripts. Among these texts are the earliest known surviving copies of the Hebrew Bible. But it's not just their age that's fascinating, it's the variations they reveal. The scrolls contain significant differences from the traditional Masoretic text, which forms the basis of the modern Bible. For instance, the scroll known as the Great Isaiah Scroll differs in both minor and substantial ways from the book of Isaiah as we know today. These differences range from altered interpretations to entire passages not found in the standard version. Such variations have profound implications. They suggest that during the time of the Second Temple, there was no single official version of the Hebrew Bible. Instead, there was a rich diversity of religious beliefs and scriptural interpretations among the Jewish people. And moreover, the Dead Sea Scrolls include books that were left out of the canonical Bible, such as the Book of Enoch, which talks a lot about the Nephilim and the giants and so on, fallen angels, the Watchers. It's really cool. And the Book of Jubilees as well. Their exclusion from the Bible as we know it raises questions about the formation of religious texts and the historical context in which they were compiled. Just to give some examples of the very intriguing things that the Dead Sea Scrolls contain, here are some standout elements that hint at mysterious beings, advanced knowledge, and perhaps even technology from ancient time. The Book of Giants. This fascinating text expands on the story of the Nephilim, described in Genesis as the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men. The Book of Giants portrays these beings as having supernatural size and strength, hinting at a race of ancient giants with mysterious origins. The War Scroll, detailing a prophesied battle between the Sons of Light and the Sons of Darkness. This scroll describes advanced military strategies and weapons. Some interpretations suggest metaphorical or spiritual warfare, while others speculate on the possibility of knowledge of advanced military technology. The Copper Scroll, unique among the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Copper Scroll lists detailed locations of hidden treasures and sacred artifacts. Its very existence raises questions about the technological capabilities required to create a durable metal document in that era. The Heavenly Luminaires. This text offers detailed descriptions of astronomical knowledge, with an emphasis on the movement of heavenly bodies and the calculation of time. The precision of this information has led some to theorize that the authors possessed advanced astronomical understanding. Thoth, the god of wisdom, magic, and the moon, is said to have been a master alchemist and the author of the Emerald Tablets. These tablets, believed by some to be written 450,000 years ago, reportedly contain profound mystical knowledge and the secrets of the universe. From the perspective of conspiracy theorists, these tablets are a goldmine. And here you go, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean. And this was actually the book that I dropped earlier in the episode. So it contains a lot of power. The tablets are written as if it's Thoth that is speaking. Like I, Thoth the Atlantean, and so on. In which he describes his journey through time and space, and how he has conquered death using avatars. It almost seems as he's describing clones or human bodies, which he can transfer his consciousness to, and in that way live forever, and teach mankind technology, writing, and so on. Take this line for example. I, Thoth the Atlantean, give of my wisdom, give of my knowledge, give of my power. Freely I give to the children of men. It's a statement that resonates with those who believe in the advanced ancient civilizations and hidden knowledge passed down through ages. The tablets are filled with references to esoteric concepts, the transmutation of metals, the elixir of life, the ability to transcend physical existence. Some even interpret these writings as evidence of advanced technology and extraterrestrial influence in ancient times. But here's where the story takes a turn. Despite the allure of these ancient writings, skeptics point out some hard truths. The Emerald Tablets, as we know them today, trace back to texts from around the 1800s, not thousands of years ago. This discrepancy raises questions about their authenticity. Critics argue that they could be a forgery or a product of the 19th century fascination with occultism. The supposed age of 450,000 years, claimed by some, seems more of a product of myth than of history. So, are the Emerald Tablets of Thoth a genuine relic of ancient wisdom, or a clever concoction of a later era, dressed in the allure of antiquity? The debate continues, leaving us pondering the fine line between historical fact and mythological fiction. For number 1 on our list, we turn to one of the most revered texts in the alchemical tradition, the Hermetica, attributed to the legendary sage Hermes Trismegistus, a figure who bridges Greek and Egyptian wisdom. The Hermetica isn't a singular book, but a collection of writings believed to date back to the early centuries of the Common Era. These texts delve into a range of topics, from spiritual alchemy and cosmic consciousness to philosophical musings about the nature of reality. What surprised me the most about alchemy was that I thought that the whole thing with alchemy was to be able to turn basic metals or turning lead into gold, and concoctions like a chemist in ancient times. But turns out alchemy is really the science of consciousness, or the science of the mind. And so that works more as a metaphor to turn lead into gold. It's about the mind, it's about your consciousness. So it's more about getting enlightened, so to speak. In alchemy, the universe and life are often explained with 3 key ideas: sulfur, mercury, and salt. And this isn't just about the actual substances, which would be totally random, but about what they symbolize. Sulfur represents the soul or our consciousness. It's like the spark that makes us who we are, driving our passions and dreams. Mercury is about the mind and spirit. It's how we think, communicate, and connect our inner world with the outer world. It's like a bridge between our soul and our body. And salt stands for the body, or the physical part of the world, like matter. It's what we can see and touch. It's the solid, real part of our existence. One famous phrase that I love that comes from the Hermetic teachings is "as above, so below." A phrase encapsulating the idea that the macrocosm is mirrored in the microcosm. A principle echoed in various mystical traditions and even in modern quantum physics. And today, many mathematicians and famous physicists agree on the fact that our universe is fractal, like a tree and its branches. And the fact that the ancient alchemists had this same idea is pretty cool to me. While the Hermetica is steeped in allegory and symbolism, its influence on Western esoteric thought, including the Renaissance birth of alchemical studies, is undeniable. It represents a fusion of mystical ideas, a convergence of Greek, Egyptian, and even Gnostic and Christian thoughts. But as with all ancient texts, the Hermetica is shrouded in mystery. How much of it is original wisdom from the fabled Hermes, and how much is an amalgamation of ideas from various traditions of the time? Despite these uncertainties, the enduring appeal of the Hermetica lies in its timeless insights into the universe and our place within it. It stands as a testament to humanity's eternal quest for knowledge and the unification of the material and the spiritual. Hey guys, thank you for watching, if you made it to the end. And you know, every little comment, every little like means so much to me, because that means that the YouTube algorithm maybe pushes me to get more views, so I can make more content. Now, that sounds a little bit shitty, because I will make content either way, because I love it. And if any one of you guys who has been following me are wondering about the quantum frequencies episode, I just had a creative drought on that one. But don't worry, I'll make a part 2. Maybe after this one, I'm not sure. But yeah, I just had to get started with something. And I've been reading a lot of the Inum Emerald Tablets of Thoth, a little bit from the Lost Books of Eden, and what's it called? The Dead Sea Scrolls, sorry. And so this video was perfect to make. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Hi again. I'm sorry, I forgot something, of course. This is new to me, filming myself, so it feels kind of weird, but anyways, I have been wanting to make a video of just me narrating a saga or a folklore story or something like that. I was thinking going through the different mythologies, like Norse mythology, and just pick a tale from that and make it really cozy. Like a long episode, 30 minutes or more, because I listen to a lot of those types of videos to fall asleep for, you know, true crime, ancient history, and stories, bedtime stories. It's actually a channel that's called that, and it's amazing. Anyways, comment if you would like that, because I want to try it out, so I can make really cool mid-journey pictures and real cozy setting. Mid-journey is the AI I use to make pictures, by the way. Anyway, I'm sorry. Bye-bye.